Hello everybody, and welcome back to week 3 of our beginners Anusara Yoga course together. So this week we're looking at the third primary principle of Anusara Yoga, which is organic energy. Now this principle is all about shining out, sort of relaxing into the poses a little bit and really feeling it and enjoying what you're doing, and hopefully you'll feel at the end of it that you feel happier in your body, more easeful in your body, that we don't have to be using these poses as a form of torture, that we can use them as a way of feeling really good about our body and in our hearts as well. Okay, so let's begin by taking a seat, and this week I invite you all to take a seat kneeling. That is, unless it hurts your knees, in which case you're very welcome to take a seat which is comfortable for you in your knees. I don't want you to be in any pain at all. Okay, so by kneeling, I'll show you from the side here, and I'm going to take my cushion and put it at my heels and take a seat down on that. And by kneeling like this, it's much easier to get this lovely curve here. Can you see my lower back curving in? It's much easier to get that, and this shifts my whole posture. It makes me feel taller, it makes me feel brighter, and I actually can feel this idea of organic energy shining out of me. And you know what? That makes me feel emotionally like that. So not only do I feel bright and shiny physically, but I feel bright and shiny in my spirit as well, and that's what we want in yoga. Okay, so take a seat, and I'm going to teach you today yogic 3-part breath. So we're going to find breath at our tummy, at our ribs, and up in our collarbones, and blend them together so that then we get to feel even fuller and brighter. So start by bringing one hand to the soft bit of your tummy around your belly button. You can bring both hands actually, and as you inhale, swell your tummy out into your hand like a little Buddha belly, and as you exhale, draw it in and back. Can you feel that? Inhale, swell it out, exhale, draw it in. Now as adults we tend to have reversed this. So if you think about remember last time you saw a baby breathing, how they seem to breathe with their whole little tummies. I want you to try and do that, and you might want to close your eyes to feel it. Inhale into the depths of your tummy and exhale. And what this does for you, it helps pull the diaphragm down so that you have more space for your lungs to stretch and take in more air. Okay. So in and out, feel that big movement at your tummy. Okay, so think of this as kind of zone 3. Zone 2 is up under your ribs. So not only underneath the boobage here, but underneath the armpits and into the back body too. So grip yourself around, and as you inhale and exhale, feel these ribs shift and move. If you give a little bit of an extra squeeze, you'll be able to feel that even more. Okay, so again, I'm going to call this kind of zone 2 or ribs. So this is tummy, ribs, or zone 2. And then zone 3 is up here in your collarbones. Did you know that your lungs actually go slightly higher than your collarbones? Amazing, hey? I didn't realise that for a long time. So just gently put your fingertips here. This is a much more subtle, smaller movement, so it might be much more appropriate for you to close your eyes to try and feel that. In and out into the upper chest. And I'm going to call this zone 1, or collarbones. You can even slide your hands over the top of your neck, feel the tops of your shoulders, and imagine you're breathing into the back body there. So I want to feel these more subtle movements of your breath in your back body, not just here in the front. Okay, so there's your 3 zones, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring your hands to your thighs. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in evenly and a long breath out. Now as you start to inhale, inhale right into your tummy, into zone 3. Then expand up into your ribs. Picture that, zone 2. And then up into your collarbones, zone 1. And then as you exhale, squeeze the air out. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Let your hands rest gently now. Again, inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Now keep breathing. I'm going to be quiet for you. And see if you can count those zones in your head. And this way we're going to start to use our full lung and allow that yoga to yoke us, body and breath. Take another couple or more rounds. And then ever so gently come back to a more natural flow, but maybe now you're more aware of that full range that your breath can take. And then very gently bring your hands to your heart center. As usual, we'll seal into our beautiful, shiny class today with one Om and one round of our lovely Anusara invocation. Take a deep breath in. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om. Take another lovely full breath. And then exhale, release your hands down to your thighs and open your eyes. Welcome. All right, so if you'd like to bring your cushion to the back end of your mat now, and you can take a seat on it. Bring your legs out in front of you. I believe we finished like this last class. Bend your left leg towards you, hold it by the knee, and then use it as an anchor. So we're still going to use the principles that we learned in the first 2 classes of settling, spreading our toes, finding the breath like we just did. Then muscular energy, so hug it in, hug the shin in, hug it in, flare your toes, and then use that to inhale, get lovely and long. So it's like from a little energy source in your pelvis, you're reaching up your spine as if you've got a book right on the top of your head. Draw your shoulders back. And this is what I want you to find today, this lovely length. Okay, keep hold of your knee with your right hand and then reach your left arm up and see if you can extend that up. Reach it up and wave your fingers in the air like there's a little flame on top. And as you exhale, sweep it around behind you, bend the elbow and lean a little bit into it. Another inhale, and as you exhale, turn your tummy round, your ribs round, your chest, and finally your chin into a nice twist for your spine. Okay, and then take another inhale, and as you exhale, unravel your way and release your left leg. Well done, bend your right leg. Again, pause, find your breath, re-establish, hold the knee, contract in. That's muscular energy of week 1 as we hug ourselves in, and then reach up through the top of the head. This is what we want to feel today, this little shiny, shiny, sparkly stuff. Inhale, reach your right arm up, and as you exhale, reach it around behind you. Again, bend your elbow and lean back a little bit so you can maintain a full breath. And as you exhale, twist around from your tummy, your ribs, your chest, finally your chin. Inhale and exhale. Unravel again. Lengthen your leg long out in front of you. Separate your feet slightly. Bring your fingertips behind you. Again, notice how I bend my arms. That enables me to keep breathing, keep full. Take the shoulders back. Gentle, gentle back bend. Lovely. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your knees. Bend your knees a little bit. And then tipping from the hips, tip forward and bow forward to the best of your ability. And that might just be to somewhere like this. That will be absolutely fine. Inhale, sit up. Elongate your legs again and just give yourself a reminder about your feet, how we want to keep them spread and active. Like there's a gap between each one. It might be tricky to find that when we first start out. So we want to keep that as we come on up to standing. Okay, so the cushion can go aside until we need it again. So stand at the top of your mat. Bring your hands to the tops of your hips here and remember from week 1 where we line up the thighs, the knees, the shins and the magic line. Remember we drew those on the first week. So stand like that at the top of your mat. Lift your toes and feel this energy as you light up your feet. And imagine you're drawing energy up the earth. Draw up tone in the fronts of your thighs by lifting your kneecaps. Lift your pelvic floor and then feel that pull here in your pelvis. Okay, so there's a little sort of heat source in your pelvis. Now draw on that up into your heart. Take your shoulders back, spin your palms forward and allow that to lift and shine out your heart. Lift and shine out the sides of your mouth. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, interlink your fingers. Okay, reach up, stretch up. If this is difficult at all, then you can separate your hands. Exhale, bow down to your left and bring your left hand down beside you. As you inhale, lengthen through that side. Exhale, turn your head. So activate your legs, squeeze them to a midline, lift your pelvic floor, and then reach up and over. Some of you might like to bring up this bottom arm. You don't have to do that. Exhale, bring the bottom arm down. Inhale, come up. Sweep it up, stretch up. Exhale the other way down. So bring your right hand down. Down you go. So strong legs gives you this effect of bowing over more into the side. Bow it over. You might be able to feel the subtles of it more and more each time you come to it. This is why we repeat things. It's good to repeat. Maybe you can bring up that bottom arm. This is called the Krishna's pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring that down. Bringing your hands to your hips. There's lots of poses associated with gods, and if you keep coming to classes, I'll be telling you lots of their lovely stories, really beautiful stories. Inhale. Now tone your legs, again lift the muscles to the bone, and then I want you to imagine there's something on top of your head, so elongate into that and keep that as you hinge and just come halfway. Bring your hands to your kneecaps, a very delicate touch. Can you check them out? Check that your legs are toned. Inhale, again let the light shine out the top of your head, and then exhale, bow into it, bend your knees until you touch the mat. Or we have our blocks handy. Inhale, extend your spine halfway, hands to your hips. Remember how we come up? Strong legs bring us up. And then it's from that foundation that we then get to reach and stretch up and feel the beauty of this pose. Feel that little inner light. Little bit of godliness in your heart. Exhale, hands to your heart center, and then release your hands. Well done. So let's repeat again that pose, tree pose. Remember that one? Feet inner hip width apart. Bend your left leg, turn the knee out, and you choose whether you come to the ankle, the calf, or as you get used to this, you could potentially bring this right up to your inner thigh. Now notice how I've missed the knee completely. You don't want to be pressing on a knee joint. Okay, and then bring your hands to your hips. So we squeeze the midline, lift the pelvic floor, and this is where organic energy kicks in. I want you to stay here long enough to enjoy it. So hold a wall if you need to. And then lift your hands in front of your heart and spin your hands out to the side. Well done. You may have your balance enough to reach them up like a Y over your head. Imagine this is like an offering, like you're a beautiful oak tree or a tree from wherever you live in the world. Sparkle your fingers. That beautiful offering that these trees do of oxygen and goodness out to the world. Tree pose. Exhale, bring it down, release the leg down. You'll see tree pose a lot in classes. It's a great one for training balance and core. Beautiful pose. Okay, known as Trichonasana. Okay, other side. So bend your right leg, turn the knee out, foot into your ankle or shin, and you've got the option this week to start coming up a little bit. So you'll begin to see there's always bits we can add on in a yoga class, and there'll always be an opportunity to be challenged a little in every class you do. Now, no matter how long you come, squeeze to a midline, lift your pelvic floor, then stay long enough to gather it all up in the heart. Spin your palms out, maybe spread them to the side. Maybe lift your gaze and reach your arms out to a Y, and then shine it out. It feels like it's reaching from my heart out my arms and my fingers. Give it a little sparkle in your tree pose, Trikanasana. Keep breathing, one more breath, and then exhale, sweep the hands down and release that leg. Awesome, well done. You're beginning to get good at tree pose now. Come to the top of your mat and have ready your blocks. So if you're going to be needing them for forward fold, or you're not sure, have them here. Okay, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward, use your blocks, or maybe I'm going to use them at half mast here. Step your left leg back to a lunge. Come onto your fingertips. And can we get all that alignment done beautifully? Toes face forward. Lift your pelvic floor. And then from here, from your tummy region, push down your back leg, like this back leg just turned into a giraffe leg. And then from your tummy, launch up your spine, lift your chin. I want you to feel really long from heel to the top of your head. Be light on your fingertips, make your arms feel like just got really long. You might be able to lower the blocks a bit. Runner's lunge. Let's try that the other side. So step your left foot forward and your right foot back. Again, coming onto your fingertips. Extend your light. And in the Anusara invocation, there's a word called Tejasahi, which means your divine light. To imagine you're shining this out from your heart. So from your right heel to the top of your head, lift your face and imagine you could illuminate, like you've got a torch at your heart that's shining. Runner's lunge. Beautiful. Let's switch legs again. So step your right foot forward, your left foot back, and bring this down, bring the knee down to the mat. But don't untuck the back toes because we still want to feel sort of grounded and steady. And then bring your hands to your hips. So as you draw your legs to a midline, squeeze your hands to midline and feel this pool of energy in your belly. And then from that, reach up, stretch up. Reach your arms. You can either bring them forward, or if you have space, bring them to the side. I don't have that much space, so I'm reaching them forward and up. Reach up and feel like you're being elongated in your lower half, drawing up to your heart, and then shining out your fingers. Angeniasana. Exhale and lunge a bit. Another inhale. Another exhale. And then sweep your fingertips down. That pose was called Angeniasana. Lift up your back knee, step your left foot forward and your right foot back. Okay, bring the knee down to the mat. Again, pause, and it's often when we know, on the second side, we know where we're going, that we can be in a bit of a hurry. So I want you to pause and remember the work of week 1, which was making sure you're breathing and you feel steady. And then week 2 is contracting to a midline, giving yourself that inner hug in. And bring your hands to your hips as you do that, so you can feel it side to side and front to back. And then this week's job is to layer onto that, to enjoy it. So reach up, draw up your heart, reach up your fingers. See if you can get your arms a little bit taller and exhale into the pose. And instead of running away from the pose, can you stay a while and notice what it's doing for you? Well done. And then sweep your fingertips down. Just before we move on, notice how I've got the back knee down, or you've got the back knee down. And this is always an option. Even if I cue to lift the back knee, you could always come down to with your knee down. All right, pop the blocks to the side. Sweep this left leg back. And another quick reminder, take your knees wide, big toes together. Push your hands down and forward to a child's pose. So a reminder here that you can always come to child's pose in the beginner's course and any class of mine. So looking up, spread your hands. Remember to create space between your fingertips. Then as you come to all fours, move your knees in. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Do you remember this from last week? So again, check your hands haven't moved. Index fingers look forward. And, feel free to have your legs bent quite a lot. Breathe into the side body. And then from a pool of energy, probably you can feel that your arms are working and around your shoulder blades. Push down your arm bones like your arms just got longer. Lift up your tailbone like your tailbone just got longer. And then maybe one day you work your heels down, but that may well be not to another lifetime. Okay. And then inhale, shift that shape forward to plank. Exhale, push it back. And some of these will be more pleasant to you. Inhale to plank. And some of them will be more challenging for you. And that's going to be the flow. Some you love, some you don't. Okay? Looking up, step both feet forward between your hands. Separate them as you step up. Hands to your hips. Bend your knees. Inhale. Come up to standing. And exhale. Bring it to your heart. Well done. Inhale, reach. Exhale and bow. Inhale to a halfway lift, bringing your hands to the mat. Or let's try these blocks again. Step your left leg back. Option to bring the knee down, remember. So spread your feet. Draw everything to a midline. Just draw your right heel back, your left foot forward. And then bring your hands to your hips. Here, balance might start to get challenged. Okay, so you can see the midline of my mat. Notice how I stepped either side of it. That gives me more surface area to play with. So try that if you're feeling a bit wobbly. Take a breath here. Lift your pelvic floor. You're doing so well. And then reach your arms up. So this is just like we just did, except now our back knee is up. So fire through that back leg. Let it get longer. Let your arms get longer. Stretch. Reach. This is called Crescent Lunge. So stretch up, reach up like you're saying, yay, I'm here. One more breath. Super. And then sweep your hands down. Step your left foot forward and your right foot back. Again, don't be in a hurry to do the second side. Come onto your fingertips. And push down the bones of your legs. Look up. Bring your hands to your hips as you grow up into your light. gather it all in and then stretch up, reach up. Like that back leg grew an inch and your arms grew 6 foot. Like you're saying, hey universe, I'm here. Yeah, I feel good today. One more breath, yogis. And then sweep your fingertips down. Pop the blocks to the side again and then step your left leg back to downward facing dog. Come down on your knees again. Point your toes again. As long as this is okay for your knees, you could always sit cross-legged if it's not, or bring your legs out in front of you. Well done. Take a breath into the side body. Reach around behind you. Interlink your fingers and stretch the arms back. If this is too much for you, just bend your elbows or use a strap or whatever you've got to give yourself some space in the hands. Okay, so launch your chest and face up, creating a little bend in the upper back, whereas somewhere where we can hunch quite a lot. Okay, so now come forward and let's come down onto our tummies. Okay, now as you lie down, make sure your feet don't separate too far apart from each other. So they should still be about inner hip width apart, and click your toenails down onto the mat. Okay, so if you pick up your left leg, turn it inward. So as you place it down, the top of the thigh, top of the knee, top of the shin and top of the foot is on the mat. Do the same with the right leg. Pick it up, turn it in. So it's the top of the thigh, top of the knee, top of the shin and top of the foot that's on the mat. Okay, pause. And then sweep your hands back behind you. Turn your thumbs up like you're thumbing a lift. And then from here, draw the head of the arm bones away from the mat. Press your hands into the floor a little bit. And from your toe tips right to the top of your head, think about length. Pick up your head off the mat, your shoulders off your mat. Can you pick up your hands off the mat? Starting to get into the back chain of the body. Now keep breathing, that's really important as you float your feet off the mat. They can go a little bit wider as you lift up. You lift up, you lift up. Keep smiling, keep breathing, so good for your back. One more breath. And then exhale, bring your hands down, your feet down, your forehead down. 3 deep breaths. Okay, and then notice if your feet have gone a little bit too wide, so walk them in. You can even try bringing them together if you want to. Click your toenails down. So I want you to try and keep all 10 toenails down on the mat. So legs are strong, tone them. Breath into the side body. Take your head of your arm bones and draw them away from the mat if they've dropped down there. Lift your hands off the mat. Lift your head off the mat. And keep your toenails clicking down. And then bend your arms and bring your hands down by your chest. So notice here, my hands are sort of below my chest. They're not up here under my shoulders or even by my chest. They're below the chest. Downward dog hands. Claw the mat. And then inhale, come up without straightening the arms. I know it's tempting to straighten the arms. Come up to a little cobra, keep those toenails clawed, keep your elbows wrapping back, keep a smile on your face. And then exhale, lower your way down, release your face. Leave your hands here and just float them a centimetre off the mat. Do it again, click your toenails down. Inhale, come up. You can do this. These aren't often people's favourite poses, but they're so good for you. One more breath. Keep those hands floated. And then gently release them down. Gently bring your forehead down. Another big breath. And then slowly we're going to go back to child's pose again, our favourite pose. So come on to all fours and back you go to child's pose for a breath. So elongate your fingers forward. Take a lovely deep breath in and a long breath out. Find your length. Okay, and then come on up to a seat. Really well done, everybody. Come up to standing. And we may well be using our blocks for the next couple of poses, so reach around for them. Make sure you've got them on this nice high setting. Okay, and we're going to step our feet wide because we're going to do a couple of familiar poses. Do you remember Virabhadrasana 2? So step your feet wide. Then I'm going to introduce you to Trikonasana. Okay, so step your feet wide. Well done. Turn your right toes to the short edge of your mat. So the blocks are just behind you. So all that good work we did the previous week, spread your toes, contract your legs to a midline. Even as you lunge into this leg, imagine you're drawing the right leg back and the left leg forward. So contract in, lift your pelvic floor, feel that gather up into your heart. Draw your shoulder blades right on your back and bring your hands in front of your chest. And then extend out into your beautiful warrior twos. Beginning to get familiar with this pose. So stretch out your fingers. Beautiful. And then straighten the front leg. We're going to go straight into the other side. So turn the toes in and the other toes out. Pause and prepare. Then bend into the leg, but don't be lazy. Okay, I want you to contract to a midline. Contract in, turn those legs, and from that turn you'll feel a little energy force draw up into your heart. There it goes, brings to light you up. Draw your shoulder blades on your back, hold your hands in front of your heart. And once you've got that connection, then extend into warrior two. Really good work. Super duper. And then straighten the leg. Keep going with the other legs. Go straight to the other leg. So turn your toes in and toe the first toes out again. Again, contract to a midline, but this time the legs are going to stay straight. Okay, and then reach out. Stretch out. Reach to your forward into your left arm. So get long, like you're a piece of stardust, which you are. Did you know you're a piece of stardust? Reach out. We are made of stardust. Bring your right fingertips to the block. Stretch up through your left arm. And there you have Trikanasana or Starburst pose. Okay. So from your bottom fingertips to your top fingertips, can you get longer, bigger, brighter? Lift your chin. Take your head back. Awesome. And press into your legs. Inhale. Come up. Turn those first toes in, knee, second toes out, knee, inhale, contract first, remember, reach up, stretch up, and then reach your way around. Bring your right fingertips to the block, stretch it around. And even if you've done a lot of yoga and you know you can get the floor, do it with a block. It gives you more space to feel this principle of opening up, and stay a little while to enjoy the pose. And every time you repeat and come back, things will feel a bit more familiar, a little bit easier. Nothing is ever easy the first time round. So shine it out. One more breath. And then inhale. Come on up. Turn the toes in and step your feet together. So now I'm going to challenge you with a tricky balance. Okay, it's called half moon. So the first time we do it, why don't you just watch the screen and I'm going to show it to you. Okay? So we start at Trikonasana. And then watch this. I bend the front leg. I'll talk you through it. I step in and then I reach into a balance. I've got the foundation. I lift up, so stretch the back leg back, sparkle the toes. Stretch the top arm up. If this feels bad, you can have it on your hip. Otherwise, Try and stretch up to feel like Trikonasana and shine, shine, shine. And we step back, bring it all back. Okay, so come with me, second side. I'll do it again, that first side. And if you can't lift the back leg up very high, don't worry, this is the first time we're trying it. You'll wobble, fall out, and you can do the class again, or after doing yoga a little while, it'll become easier. It never becomes completely easy though, okay? So turn your left toes out, and we're going to come to Trikanasana again. So contract to a midline, reach out, and windmill your hands down to the block, just like we just did. Stretch out, take your top hand and bring it to your hip. To make the step in easy, turn your head down to your bottom foot, and you're going to step your back leg in. Now take your block forward and off to the side, so more underneath your shoulder, and then step into the back leg. The first time, go in cautiously, pick up the back leg just lightly, maybe just an inch, and feel like it just got longer. Then with more confidence, you'll be able to lift it higher and higher. Press your right hand down, lift your chin, and maybe lift the top arm up. That's really tricky though, but see if you can shine out. Sparkle your fingers and toes. 4, 3, 2. Awesome, everybody. Step back. Whatever you managed was fabulous, and come on up. And I'm anticipating that lots of you fell over and stuff like that, but just have a giggle about it. You're at home, you're safe, and keep playing, keep trying. Okay, let's try the other side. So turn your right toes to the short edge of your mat. Starting at Trikonasana again. Inhale, reach up. Around you go. Trikonasana. Bring your hand to your block, even if you've done this before. And then bring your top hand to your hip as you transition in. So shorten your stance, take the block to the side, and as you start to lift off, imagine this back leg getting lighter and lighter. Flare your toes and lighter. Get long, lift your chin, push down to your left arm, and if you have your balance, then reach up your top arm and feel like Trikonasana, shine it out. Give yourself a smile. If you've fallen on your bottom, give yourself a giggle. Say, well done for trying. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step your way back to Trikonasana. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, turn the toes in and step your feet in. Awesome, tricky. So there's always something in a yoga class to challenge you and keep you interested. Well done. Okay, so let's come down and lie down on the mats now. You can pop your blocks to the side. So as you lie down, your feet are going to be placed exactly as they were in Tadasana. So they're inner hip width apart, and the magic lines, even though you can't really see them from here, you can begin to feel with practice how they feel on the mat. So spread your toes, lay your body down, and pause. Start to contract your heels up towards your bottom. So drag that in, you'll feel the back of your legs turn. Bend your elbows like I'm doing here. I call this robot arms. And then press your elbows into the mat. That will make your upper chest lift, and you can scoot your shoulder blades more into your back. Like they were little angel wings, you're tucking them on your back. And then press into that, the inner edges of your feet, the back of your elbows, and root through the back of your palate here, and start to lift your bottom up. Now don't go crazy. You don't want to start tucking your chin and hurting your neck. Keep this space here. It's as if you're bringing your chest to your chin, not the other way around. Don't bring your chin to your chest. Chest to your chin, and then maybe walk your elbows in a little bit more. I always sometimes find it helpful to grab the mat there. That can help bring the shoulder blades back. Lift your chin. Imagine again that you're dragging the heels up towards your bottom, so you'll feel the back of your legs engaged. Take a full breath in. And this is bridge pose, a long breath out, bending your bum down. I'm going to do it one more time so you're nice and set up, established. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, push into the inner edges of your feet and come up again. Contract your heels up towards your bottom. Can you feel your bum engage? Lift your chin under your chest for bridge pose. Let's hold it here with all this working. Lift your heart, give a little smile on your face. It's near the end of the class, you should be happy about that. And then exhale, lower it down. Really well done. Walk your feet now so they go as wide as the mat, so the feet go right to the edges. And you can release your shoulders, bring them out like a cactus. If you've got space, I don't, but you could expand fully out to the side with straight arms. Take a big breath in, and from your tummy button up, see if you can turn your head and chest and neck to look to your left palm. And from your tummy button down, take your knees and twist at your middle to the right, like you get this ringing out. And then take another big breath in. Can you feel the tummy, the ribs, the chest? And envelop that all to the left, that inner body fullness. And then feel the deliciousness of stretching your way out. Just a couple of breaths here. Beautiful. And then bring your knees back to center. Pause in the middle. Feel this energy zone at your belly. You're being twisted in two directions. Take a full inhale. Exhale, turn your head and inner body and face to the right. And then exhale, take your legs and lower body off to the left. Ring your way out. You've worked very hard. Really well done. And this is, these last few poses, this is where we feel that organic joy of thinking, oh yeah, now I feel good. I want you to focus on that feel good factor. Well done. Bring your knees back to center again. Lovely. And then hug your knees in. Hug them in nice and tight. Squeeze it in. Pick up your head and shoulders and squeeze. And then feel the contrast between this big squeeze in. And then release your feet. Extend your legs. Release your hands. Once again, you could hold the sides of your mat and use that mat to help you bring your shoulder blades on your back. So it feels delicious enough to release your hands. I've got an eye pillow within easy reach here. So if you have one of those as well, you could pop that on. And as you settle into your breath, I want you to come back to remember at the beginning, breathing into your tummy. You don't have to be touching it, you can sense it. Breathing into your low ribs. And breathing into your upper chest, those 3 zones. So for a few rounds of breath, just think about that. And then let that breath or the thoughts of the breath go a little while. And relax back into the sweetness of relaxation. Sweetness of just enjoying the moment. Being in the now. Relax, relax, relax. And the luxury of being at home means you could stay here Otherwise, you can come with me now. Take a few more deep breaths. Enjoy where you're at. Enjoy this space. This, after all, is what it's all about. Noticing this. Breathe a bit deeper. If your eye pillow's there, you could slide it off. Bend your knees. Roll to your side. And pause. And then pressing into your hands, coming back up to a seat. Again, this kneeling seat that we had at the beginning. Bring the cushion underneath your bum. And feel how that draws your back in after moving and shifting your body. You have more ability to lift from your heart center. Take your shoulders back, bring your palms up. Notice how good it feels to be vibrant and alive and moving. And this is the essence of yoga, that you start to feel better, body and soul. So you shine your light on your mat. Now you're better equipped to go now, yogis, and shine your beautiful individual light into the world. Bring your hands to your heart center. So we seal in with one Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. Namaste, yogis. Well done.